Hey
Hey guys, I'm Casey.
And I'm Shahid, and you're here watching the Lovin show.
Stay tuned to see who we're going to speak to next. Hello everyone, welcome to the show. My name is Casey.
And I'm Shahid.
And this week on the Lovin show we have Waleed Shah.
And I'm Waleed.
Welcome. Hi Waleed, thank you for coming. So everyone is talking about your Rock Your Ugly campaign on Instagram. Can you just give our viewers a quick kind of synopsis about what it is?
All right, so it actually keeps changing,
Okay.
but I think so far what's happening is it's sort of like an exploration of mental health issues that look like physical insecurities.
Okay.
So it started off as me trying to find people with physical insecurities and photographing those insecurities, but then through interviewing them and talking to them, I realized that almost every time somebody feels insecure about something on their body physically, there's always like a mental health issue that's associated with it. Either some sort of trauma that happened in the past, or something that's ongoing just now. So I kind of shifted the focus to the mental health part, but still showcasing the physical insecurity on the photograph and then explaining what that is.
Did the people that you photographed realize that it was an insecurity, or how did that come out in each chat that you had?
No, I mean it starts off as, hey guys, or I'll reach out to somebody and say, I'm doing this project. It's about, are you insecure about anything on your body? You want to talk about it? Can I photograph that? And it starts off from there. So it starts off as the physical insecurity.
Yeah.
And then you start to peel the layers during the chat, the interview, and then it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And sometimes they don't want to talk about it. But through conversation, they just kind of either slip up and they'll be like, "All right, here's the deal," kind of thing, and they'll go into the the deeper part. Mm-hmm. And I think on the website they aren't in order of when I did them; they're just all jumbled up. But I do realize that the ones I did in the beginning were just about the insecurity or the physical part. But the more I did, the more people I shot, the more people I talked to, I learned that it's almost all the time it's about something, there's a mental health issue associated.
Deeper.
So I learned to dig deeper myself. I learned to ask the questions. So
Nice.
the ones that come in later have a deeper story to them, and it's a bit more beautiful, let's say.
It's obviously also become such an empowering campaign that you probably now have more and more people, Exhibit A, wanting to actually take part in this, to share their story and actually rock their ugly, something that they've always found to be an insecurity to them. When did you realize though that this was starting to make an impact? When was the pivotal moment for this campaign?
I think so. It's a really good question. It's actually before it went online.
Okay.
I talked to people in sort of my extended circle about it privately.
Okay.
And then after I shot a few, I went to one of the parties, and people were like, "Yo, I heard about this thing you're doing, blah blah. That's really cool. Can we talk about it? When's it coming out?" I'm like, "It's actually, I don't want it to be online yet. I don't want it to be in the online world yet. Feel free to talk about it, show the photos around amongst yourselves and stuff like that." But people started to approach me to rock their ugly, on a photo like that privately before it was online. So that's when I started to realize that there might be something there that might go a bit bigger than I had imagined.
I mean that is real impact of the fact that people wanted to take part, without it having had to be on a social media or anything.
Yeah.
Definitely interesting.
Amazing. It's like going viral without actually being online yet. That's very cool.
Yeah. It was quite cool. It was I think it was maybe 2 weeks before I put it out, because a lot of people I'd approached said no, but they talked to their friends that when he's doing this thing. I said no, but if you wanna, so yeah, it was a nice wake up call that not everything has to happen online.
Yeah.
Online is for, let's say, the masses and everybody after it's done, but the process can be offline, and I really like that.
Where did the inspiration for the whole campaign come from?
Yeah.
It's twofold. The first was I was insecure about my belly a few years ago. Sorry?
I feel you.
You feel me? Okay, cool. And I think maybe 10 years ago I hurt my back working out. I was one of these guys, going to the gym and everything.
Okay.
But 10 years ago, I hurt my back, and I couldn't train as hard as I could before. And that kind of really brought me down. Every time I tried to train, I'd hurt my back again, and it was like really painful. Like I went through like physio. I tried everything. What's the one of the needles called?
Acupuncture?
Acupuncture. There you go. Acupuncture. I tried everything. I had to just stop. I just had to stop working out and just take a break for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got better, but then I couldn't just go back to the gym. I couldn't get myself to go back to the gym because I wanted to train really hard, but I knew I couldn't do it. So I went the opposite way. I just let myself go. I got fat, and I think it was either last year or the year before. I'm horrible with timings, but I got up one morning. I think it was on my birthday. I was like, man, I don't feel good. I don't look good, and I took a self-portrait, a photo of myself, probably at like 6 a.m. or something. Everybody's asleep. I opened the front door to let light in. I was, standing there dressed in my boxers with, people outside kind of looking in. It was weird. It was weird just because that spot was the only place where the light would come in at that time. So I took a photo of myself holding my belly, and I just put it out, and I said, this is what I look like right now. And I'm actually not going to do anything about it. Let's see what happens next year. No resolutions, nothing. I'm leaving it at that.
That was brave.
Yeah.
That was brave.
Because I wasn't feeling good, and I was like shooting it, and I was writing it, and just writing what I was feeling without like a goal.
And it's interesting how you woke up that morning and you saw that and you felt these feelings and you just immediately went into your creative mode and just took the photo and then just expressed yourself right there. And
it was weird. Like usually people or me sometimes even I'd be like, okay, what's the goal? Okay, no, I do want to feel better. I do want to, this year I'm going to work out. I'm going to eat better. But I'm just like, I'm not going to do anything about it.
This is it. This is laying it all out.
And maybe I'll do something about it next year. I'll come back to this next year and see what happens.
But you knew you would.
And then throughout the summer, I gained a lot of weight. I read a book called The Obesity Code that really helped me, take off that way. I lost like 10 kilograms in about 2 or 3 months. I was feeling good. That was fine, but at that time when I took that photo, I thought about exploring other people's insecurities as well. So I just kind of noted it down. I've got like notes on my phone, it's just random projects that I'd want to come back to. I just left it at that. And then about maybe a month and a half ago today, my best friend passed away.
Oh.
And went to Toronto for the funeral, came back, and just my mental state, just I wasn't okay up here, and just people's advice was just like, dude, bury yourself in work, just to kind of get your mind off that. And obviously, summer in the UAE, there's not really much work for me to do. I don't get as many calls as I would, during the winter.
Yeah.
So I, pulled up my notes. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pick up one of these projects and go for it. And that was the one I picked randomly, and I just kind of went for it.
That's so amazing, because what you did from your grief has actually empowered thousands of people to talk about their insecurities. That's amazing.
Yeah. So yes, that happened, and that had a positive impact for people, but also for me. That process became my group therapy.
Oh.
So when people open up about their pain and their life to me, I get comfortable to open up about my pain to them, and it becomes this sort of exchange of.
It was your healing process.
Of pain, and that was really good for me.
Amazing.
I love that, and I love the fact that your art can definitely be one of the tools that'll help you, heal. As it's like a form of therapy. Yeah. So on that note, when did you first realize actually that you had a passion for photography? Like going way back. Way back.
I think the first time I started taking pictures was probably after university. I think we went to Australia and New Zealand with my best friend, and his roommate gave him an SLR camera, a DSLR, and he's like, "Yo, I got this camera for our holiday for my roommate." I'm like, "Okay, cool," and it was mine for the trip. Like he didn't touch it. It was just mine for the trip, and I started shooting photos over the trip. And that was my first time, experimenting with photography. And then I kind of liked it. I just kept doing holiday stuff and just random stuff around town. And then it wasn't until I started a company with my friends called Waleed Studios in Abu Dhabi, and it was more of like a recording studio and like a musician's boost, let's say. And to market the company, I was shooting the photos of like just people coming in and jamming or recording or at our events or something. And I just got better. I just got I got pretty good at it and grew from there. And then people started to hire us to shoot photos instead of record music. Okay, cool. I can do this.
Worked for you.
Yeah.
Worked for you.
Yeah.
So you're obviously a professional photographer, and you work with all different types of brands. But if looking at your Instagram feed, it's amazing because it's quite a mix, and everything is shot beautifully. What do you enjoy to shoot?
Yeah.
I think I enjoy the people aspect the most. I enjoy talking to the person in front of me, and it's the portraiture side. The people side can be like fashion or lifestyle or whatever, but I actually like the person. When I'm shooting like maybe a team of people in a company or a portfolio for an artist or something, I get to just kind of hang out with the person, have a chat and really show their personality in the photo.
You love the personal side of it.
The
That's
personal
very nice.
side, yeah.
And you work with a lot of brands, obviously, and you're also a creative. So how much freedom do you feel you actually are allowed when you get to work with brands, like big brands?
Not much, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I actually take pride in that as well, because one of the things I think companies and brands reach out to me for is I can follow a brief.
Okay.
A lot of people be like, no, I don't do this or I don't do that, or this is not. So
it's almost like the client is separate to your own art.
It's very separate. So when I get sent a brief, I will shoot exactly to brief, on time, on budget, and that's kind of my thing that I even I teach as well.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So in terms of everything that we've seen, what would be, like, I've seen some really, really nice pictures, but what would be your career highlight or your favorite shoot or memorable moment that you just that sticks out to you?
Career highlight, I think, would be the Louvre last year. I did something for the Louvre last year that was on like pretty big multiple billboards on the coronation of Abu Dhabi.
Wow.
And that's very close to my heart because I'm Abu Dhabi born and raised. Like it's my city.
Shout out.
So yeah, shout out to Abu Dhabi. So when this tender, when this brief was out, and obviously I'm not the only person that gets the brief, I fought tooth and nail to get this job. So
it is beautiful.
What does that fighting tooth and nail mean to get a job?
It's a mixture. A lot of people will be like, you priced it down. No, it's make yourself available for meetings, call regularly, show up and knock on the door and be like, hey, I'm just in the area, I just want to say what's up, and then just work with the marketing team to be able to write the brief even. So the brief changes according to what whoever the photographer or whoever they're working with, because you also have an eye and an ear for like logistics as well. Is this possible in this amount of time with this amount of gear? So you kind of change the brief with them instead of like having a brief in front of you and just coding based on that brief. So it's just working with your client to make for you to both understand what's needed.
Very good.
Yeah.
Cool. So is there any, up until now, do you have a dream figure or personality that you've been wanting to shoot? Anyone specific in mind?
Not really, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
So it's
very
more.
It's a good question, but no one's ever asked me that. I don't think I've ever thought about that. Nothing really comes to mind. They're like, oh, that person.
Because I guess you have so many ideas throughout the day, like you said, that you list it down. And
I mean, it's not that. It's more. I think the excitement comes where it's not about like how big of a celebrity that person is. It's more of like how much can I talk to this person and
Get
bring out in a photograph.
Love.
So yeah, it's not really about the celebrity status of the person. It's funny. Most of the celebrities I've shot, I usually don't know who they are until after. So somebody tells me, oh, this is, by the way, this is this person. And I'm like, oh. okay.
So then you get to know them on your own
Exactly,
basis and have
And I
form
like
your
that.
own
I like that.
opinion of them. That's
like
fair,
that.
yeah.
You're clearly like quite a personal person. The fact that you're able to draw these stories from these people, so that was really nice to hear.
Yeah, it's you know, someone told me like, how do you get people to talk to you like that? I don't understand. Like you just sit with a person and get them to
express,
to you know, open up their heart.
Share.
I don't really know. People just kind of tell me stuff.
I think you have to be open for
Yeah.
You give off that vibe, so then they reciprocate that, you know. So on another note like that, we have a lot of aspiring photographers that look up to you. I shared my story of you coming over to the studio, and a photographer in Bahrain, shout out, he's here. It's a really big fan of yours. And so what's your advice actually for any, you know, all the other aspiring photographers
or creatives
in the industry? Yeah,
it's probably, you know, it's a very difficult life to separate your business from your art. But I think once you learn to do that, and if that's what you want to do in life, you know, that's what you probably need to do, is separate your business from your art, where you know, you kind of go off and do your own thing, and that's your personal thing. But when it comes to client work, you got to do what the client, you know, needs. And marketing yourself is almost counterintuitive. You know, it's like, no, I want to go and do my own stuff and get hired to do my own stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas, well, not really. It doesn't really work that way. You got to go and also, you know, shoot and test shoot stuff that you think clients will look at and be like, you know what, that works with my brand. So you got to have both, you know, at the same time. So yeah, separate your business from your art is probably the one piece of advice.
I think that's fair, because a lot of people think that you can just be as creative as you want, but you touched on it already, that you actually have to follow what the client says, and I think anyone who works for brands knows that. So it's a very fair, realistic piece of advice to give. Before we get to tell us what you really think, before we go, do you have any shout outs that you'd like to give?
I think shout out to my wife, to be honest. Yeah.
Shout out, wifey.
Yeah. She's been really supportive through all this process, and you know, she writes some of the stories as well. I usually record them and then get it transcribed like on a program, and she sits and writes some of them. So yeah, she's been an awesome help with this.
Is she watching right now?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I have no idea.
And guys, if you want to read all the really, really insightful stories on Rock Your Ugly, name your site?
It's waleedshah.ae. Yeah, just waleedshah.ae, or you know, my Instagram page, Waleed Shah.
It's a powerful read, each of the different stories. Really good.
We'll link it down in the comment section after this has gone live. And so for now, let's start the Tell Us What You Really Think segment. Waleed's been nervous.
Why are you worried?
Yeah, I don't know.
I love seeing our guest faces when I'm about to introduce this segment. So basically what we do with the Tell Us What You Really Think segment, you guys, is we give our guests one word each, and they just have to respond with a really quick, brief thought after saying the word. So are you ready?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Hit me.
Do I start? You start.
Barter deals.
Go for it.
No.
Fujifilm.
Love it.
Red.
Hat.
Gary V.
Inspirational.
Are you taking in? We kind of stalked you for some of these words.
Sorry?
We kind of did a bit of background check on your
really?
Instagram for some of these words.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Abu Dhabi.
Home.
Influencers.
No cursing allowed.
Yeah. What?
Influencer.
A reaction.
Yeah.
A justified reaction.
Social media.
Tool.
Music.
Life.
Selfie sticks.
Cut 'em.
And last but not least, Dubai.
Entertainment.
Yes.
Love that.
Nice way to finish.
Thank you so much.
Abu Dhabi is home. Dubai is entertainment for me.
Abu Dhabi's home. Dubai is entertainment for him.
Well,
I would say the other way around for me. But yeah,
interesting.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, Abu Dhabi's like a slower pace of life, I think, and there's obviously a lot to do here, so I get that.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. But thank you so much,
Cool.
Waleed, for joining us. And thank you for sharing your story. I'm sure a lot of our viewers have been really interested in hearing about, you know, the stories behind Rock Your Ugly, since it has been a very inspiring campaign so far. And we can't wait to see more of the photos and more people coming up and, you know, opening up and sharing up about their insecurities and how they've overcome it. And thank you so much for helping bring that to light.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Not at all. We're back next week, same time, and see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.